Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? It is currently 6:03 p.m. on Sunday. It is 79 degrees outside. And it has turned into kind of a beautiful early evening. It rained off and on throughout most of the day. I vlogged earlier today from last night because I slept all night long. And then I got up and I vlogged, and then Alex and I went to brunch. And then we went to Sephora and bought some stuff and did a haul that I put up on my review channel. But when I got home and I was putting my vlog together, I was like, there are only 2 video pieces to this. And if you watch my vlog from yesterday, it was very short. It was like 31 minutes long, 31 minutes and 10 seconds long or something. But it was actually like a total of like 46 minutes. I went into this whole discussion about like BookTube, and I talked about my very first BookTubeathon and why it meant so much to me when I did BookTubeathon the first year. And I talked about that they're not doing the reading rush. It's now called the reading rush, and that they're not doing the reading rush anymore. And anyway, I had this long conversation about it. I talked about some of the movies that, because the first year that I did BookTubeathon, like all of the 7 books that I picked were all book to movie adaptations. So I went in and I watched the movies of the books that I had watched as well. And it was like this 11 minutes of video that I don't know why, but it's completely missing from my memory card. It's not even on there. I don't know what was going on with my camera, you guys. I have no clue. The only thing I can think of is the heat in the car, because it was like right in the sun, and the camera was very, very hot. And I actually like tried to like restart it like 3 times, and it would get like a minute or 2 in, and then it would just like stop again. So the very end of the video that you see is like my 3rd attempt at doing the end of the video. It doesn't matter now, but I was gonna go out and I was gonna film like another 15 minutes and put it onto that vlog because that vlog is so long. But I was like, you know what? I think instead I'm just gonna do my vlog early, because this car in front of me, my lord. It's like some kind of Nissan sports car. I was gonna go and vlog like another 10 or 15 minutes and add it to that vlog, but Alex is making, he's putting together these tables at home that he purchased, and so we did the review video, and then I was gonna do like a Peterisms video and another video, and but he wanted to have the music on, and he was using the drill and stuff, and so I was like, I'm just gonna let him do that, and then I'm gonna go vlog. So I left and I made a couple phone calls, and now I am vlogging for tomorrow. So I'll have my vlog done early, and then I can watch some shows or listen to the Dexter book. I've got to finish the Dexter book today, and I've got like 2 hours left of it. So I'm hoping that my camera doesn't just stop at some time. I don't know what was going on with it. It was weird. It wasn't like when it stops, or if the battery is like dead or whatever. It didn't stop like that. It just like, it went to a black screen and then just stopped there. And the only thing I can think is that it was so hot. And I don't know what happened to the video footage or the video piece that I had that was like 11 minutes long. I don't know what happened to that. So anyway, nothing I can do about it now. It's gone. And I can't find my lip balm, so I'm going to use some lip gloss. And then I bought this ring light from Amazon because my ring light is dead. I actually showed myself unboxing it on my Peter Does Stuff channel, and there was a missing piece in there. So Alex was like, well, you just need to buy this piece. And so he showed me like what piece I needed to buy. And so did I order it or did he order it? I think he may have ordered it. But the piece was like $20. So then I was into like, now I'm like, the ring light was like $90 and the piece was like $20. So then I was like into like $110 into this ring light. And so I had sent a message saying like, hey, I didn't get this piece in my ring light, and like, can you help me with this? Whatever. It was a very nice message. They never responded to it. So the piece came in the mail, and the piece doesn't fit the ring light that I have. So I'm like, now I have this $20 piece, and I have this ring light that I threw the box away because I tore it open. So I don't have a box to send it back in. So I asked for customer support on Amazon, and I don't know if you guys have ever done customer support on Amazon, but it was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. And I don't know if it was the person whose store it was or whatever. It's a newer NEWEER ring light, which has always been a great ring light for me, but the customer service was absolutely horrific. And so I got on like the little conversation thing that you're talking to somebody, and I was explaining to them what happened, and they're like, so you have a missing piece? And I was like, yes, I have a missing piece. It's the piece that connects the camera to the ring light. And they're like, can you be more specific about the piece that you're missing? But here's the thing, in between each message that I send them, because I was like responding like right away, it would take them like 5 or 10 minutes to respond. So, and I know that customer service is tough. They're probably talking to more than one person or whatever, right? So I'm like, I go in and I explain it more. And so they repeat back to me exactly what I said. And then I was like, you know, blah, 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 whatever. And they're like, okay. And then they said, so you need the piece. And I'm like, yeah, I need the piece so that the ring light can work. The ring light was $89. It came to like 90, I just looked, it came to like 94 something with tax. I ordered it on Prime. So they're like, okay, well, are you, and then they gave me all these different options. They're like, are you wanting to send the piece back for, you know, a refund? Are you wanting to send it back for us to replace it? Like, and I'm like, well, I would really just like the piece, if you could just send me the piece. And they were like, mind you again, it's 5 or 10 minutes in between each message, right? And they're like, oh, so you're wanting the piece? Like, yeah, I just said that. I want the piece. That's why, just send me the small piece, and then I can put that on the ring light, and then I'll have a working ring light, right? I said, yes, I would prefer just to have the piece. Well, we can give you a 15% discount code to buy something else on Amazon. And I'm like, what? Like, I'm so confused. And they're like, and I said, 15% discount for what? And they said, you can use the 15% discount to purchase other things on Amazon. And I'm like, so I'm confused at this point. So I said, so I send the ring light back, or I keep the ring light and get the 15% discount. And they responded and said, either I just want to make you happy, we'll do whatever you want to do. And I said, okay, well then I think I want a full refund. Oh, they had said earlier about the box, because I said the box is torn up. I don't have a box to send it back. And they said any box is fine to return. You can just find any box to return it in, and that's fine. Well, I can do that. I mean, we got boxes. So I said, okay, I'd like to return the product for a full refund. You would like a full refund, question mark? Are you sure that you wouldn't prefer, I can give you a 20% discount? And I'm like, I don't want a 20%. I said, I don't want a 20% discount. I either want the piece so that my product works, or I want a full refund. And they messaged me back and they said, well, you can keep the item and then we'll still give you, I can give you a 20% discount to use on Amazon. And I said, you want to give me a 20% discount on an item that does, you want me to keep an item that doesn't work, that I paid $90 for, and you want me to keep, just so you can give me 20% discount on another Amazon item? And they're like, yeah, would that make you happy? And I'm like, no, that wouldn't make me happy. Like, I want a replacement of this. I was so frustrated by the end of this. And so at the end, they were like, well, we're gonna have to like to talk this over to the manager and get back to you and let you know like what we can do or whatever. And I'm like, okay. At one point they said, should we start processing the return and the refund? And I was like, yeah, that would be great. And then they said they wait, and that one was like the forever wait. That was like probably 15 or 20 minutes, because this was while I was starting to upload the review video. And they were like, okay, well, we need to talk to so-and-so and then we'll get back to you. I still haven't gotten a return message. And I was like, okay. And I was like, I have to have a ring light. I have been out of a ring light now for like a month. So I was like, I went in and I ordered a cheaper version of a ring light. And I was just like, I'm gonna just buy a cheaper ring light, and then they can just refund me the money and I'll send it back. And I'll just keep on talking to them until they refund me the money. I'm like, I don't even understand what the problem is. This is why I don't like to return stuff, because there's always some problem with returning the item. And then I also have to return the little item, the little like screw thing that goes into the ring light, because that was $20, and that's, you know, $20 is $20. So I don't know. So now I have 2 ring lights that don't work. I'm like, what is going on here? What is the problem? So then I was like, I'm gonna go. Well, actually, I wasn't gonna vlog at first. I was gonna do just like 10 more minutes of the vlog to add to my other vlog. And then when I was like, okay, just upload the vlog so I can get it up, you know, on time. And because I knew that would like be 1 o'clock in the morning that I'd be uploading the vlog. Then I was like, just go and vlog now, or listen to your Dexter book, or just, you know, do whatever. So I'm gonna do that. I think for my birthday on Tuesday, I talked to Tanya, and I may have said this last night. She like is really wanting to go to the meeting on Tuesday. So I think what I'm gonna do is, it's just gonna really be how I feel on Tuesday when I wake up. But I think I'm gonna go to the meeting and then just get some friends from my meeting to go to dinner afterwards, and then have Alex meet us for dinner. And Alex has to work all day on Tuesday. He can't get up. He was going to try to get off early, and he can't because he's got some important stuff going on Tuesday. And I was like, babe, don't even worry about it. That's fine. This is like the first birthday. It's so strange that like, and I don't know what it is. Like, I usually always act like, or I usually always feel like, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. And then the day of my birthday comes around and I'm kind of like, well, or the day before, like maybe I do care and I wish I had done something, but I really don't care this year. Like, I really have been like, well, do I want to do this? Do I want to do that? And I mean, I really honestly, like, I mean, it would be nice if it was a nice day and I could go to the pool. Like, that would be nice. But other than that, I'm just like, I don't know. It just doesn't feel like that big of a deal. And the next year, like, since it's my 50th, I do want to do something like that, you know, go out of town somewhere that's nice and have kind of, you know. I also feel like we just got back from Miami doing this whole thing for Alex's birthday. And I feel like that was kind of my birthday too, since we went out of town. I mean, even though it was like mostly for Alex's birthday, I mean, I had a great time with that too. So I just don't feel like, I don't know, I just don't care that much, you know? And if I end up not going to the meeting for some reason, then we'll go out to dinner with Melissa and Jason, because we need to go out to dinner for it. We always do like each other's birthdays and stuff like that. So I don't know. Yeah, the weather was crazy earlier today. It was like, and we just kept on seeming to miss it too. It was like, we like got to brunch and it started pouring down rain like as soon as we got inside, and then it stopped when we were leaving, and then when we went, like as soon as we got out of the mall, it was like pouring down rain right before we got out of the mall. Then it stopped and it was sunny again. It was like real sunny, and then it would pour down rain. Real sunny, and then it would pour down rain. So we kept on missing, and then we got home and we were doing the review video and it was like pouring down rain. So I don't know, but it seems like it stopped now. It doesn't look, it was like gray skies earlier. Now it's just kind of really sunny. And Alex is working on these chairs, and, or not chairs, tables. And yeah. I may vlog for a little bit and then vlog for a little bit later. I don't know. I only brought one battery with me because my other 2 batteries were charging. So I only have 1 battery with me right now. So as long as that'll go, we'll be... Is the camera hot right now? Doesn't feel super hot. It's the weirdest thing that like video footage, because the first part is there and the last part is there. And the reason why I know it was like 11 minutes is because I looked over at one point and I saw that it said like 11 minutes. Because I like looked in, I was like, oh, it said 11 minutes. And then it stopped like right after that. But anyway, it was a lot of book talk anyway. So people are probably like, oh, we don't really want to hear the book talk. I did post, I think I said this at the beginning of my video, because I had forgotten that I had posted my booktube video yesterday, late last night. I thought I had posted it, like scheduled it to go up today. But I did say that I picked my July books for Peter's Book Club, and then I also, in my video, I also announced the True Crime Book Club. So for True Crime Book Club, we are reading The Lost Girls by John Glatt. We've actually read John Glatt before. He was the author of the book that we read, I think it was in November, about Kristen Shanann Watts. And so we're reading The Lost Girls, which is about the women that were abducted and held for like 13 years in Ohio. And a lot of people have been requesting to read about that. And then the memoirs of the different women have memoirs out. So we made those like the extra credit books to read too. Which I've heard that the memoirs are fantastic. And they're like really filled with like stories of hope and things. So I'm going to try to read 1 or 2 of those as well. And then the July books for Peter's Book Club are Emily Henry's People We Meet on Vacation and Alex Michaelides' The Maidens, both of which are just getting really, really great reviews. And a lot of people in my booktube video already commented and said that they had read them and they're just fantastic. So I'm really excited about reading those. Yeah, and so that's that. And then, I don't know what else. It's just a lazy Sunday. It's kind of nice. I love driving out where there's like all this farmland and it's so pretty and stuff. When I was a kid, like, I don't know how old I would have started doing this, but like 5 in August, I would go and visit my aunt and uncle, my dad's sister, my Aunt Janny, and her husband, and my 2 cousins that were, they're like 10 years older than me, in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And my aunt and uncle had, well, my aunt still lives there, my uncle's passed away probably 10 years ago. They have a farm, and they raised steer and sheep and soy. And so I can remember like being on that farm in the summer. Oh my God, I had so much fun, and it was so hot, and they didn't have central air, and so like they had fans that they would put in the window, and that's how I started sleeping. My cousin, I think she had 2 twin beds in her bedroom, so I would sleep in the bedroom with her, and there would be a fan that was like right on me from the outside air, and you know, like even though it would be hot in August, the air from outside, since it would be like pitch black, you know, and you're coming right off of a farm, it would be kind of cool at night. And I can just remember the smell of the air. They also had corn. They also had corn and soy, and my Aunt Janny would let me, she was so, like, when I think of people that have really allowed me to be who I wanted to be growing up, you know, she was definitely one of those people. I think I had the pictures. No, they were in the glove compartment of my old car, but she made me a wedding dress out of newspapers one time, and I had pictures of myself in it. I'm like 6 or 7 in that. She and I had so much fun, and I would always plant corn. I was up there for like 2 weeks every summer. So like my first day I would plant corn, and then I would watch it like grow. And I didn't know this till years later, but my Aunt Janny she would take like corn stalks and she would cut them each day, right? And she would just put them in the ground. And so I thought like the corn was growing really fast. Like by the last day, it was like a full corn stalk, you know? And I thought the corn was growing really fast, and it wasn't. But anyway, at night, we would like go visit our relatives, go visit my grandma, and my Aunt Janny, she had a part-time job where she would go and she put like office supplies and pantyhose and other stuff in like grocery stores. And so I would go with her, and I would help her like load the stuff in, and it was like she would just bring like a box into the store, and then they would put like replace like all the new like pens and papers and tablets and stuff, and she would help me, and she would tell me, and then we would put the pantyhose, and you would pull the thing out, you know, where you put it was the old school days of pantyhose where it had like the packages, and she would always say you move the newest ones in the back to the front, and then you put the newest ones in the back so that people are always getting new pantyhose and new products. And so we would do that. And then we would go to Arby's, and we would get roast beef sandwiches and potato cakes and Jamocha shakes. Oh my God, it was so much fun. And we always felt like somebody was following us. And nobody ever wanted to believe us. And this one time that I was there, I was probably a little bit older. I was probably like, Carlitos' age. I was probably like, he'll be like 9 in November. I was probably 8 or 9. And my cousin, my oldest cousin, she went to IU, or she ended up going to IU. So she, I think, had left for IU early, because this was in late August, because my parents would go to, it started off in Indianapolis called the Clay Courts, and then they ended up being the RCA Tennis Championships. And so my dad and his partner would get box seats for it every year. And even when my parents were separated and divorced, my mom still went, because she was my mom's best friend her whole life. Well, besides my like Aunt Susie and her friend Diane that passed away, was my dad's partner's wife. So my dad would go to, or my mom would go to the tennis matches with her. So for like that, and it was like 2 weeks. And for those 2 weeks, that was before I was like, those would have been the years before I became a ball boy, because I think you had to be 10 or 11 to be a ball boy. I would go to my aunt and uncle's in Fort Wayne, and I would stay with them for like 2 weeks so that my mom and dad could go to the tennis matches and stuff. So anyway, this one weekend that I was there was the Three Rivers Festival in northern Indiana. That's like north of Fort Wayne. And so my cousin was in Bloomington already, because I think it was her first year of college or something. She'd just gone down there for like orientation week, and that was like early in August. And then my other cousin, who's like 2 years younger than her, he was still in high school, but he helped a lot with farming. And so he and his dad had gone to like the tractor pulls and everything, and they were like staying where Three Rivers was for those days. And so it was just my aunt and I on the farm. And so we had, I've told this story on here before, but I like remember it like it was yesterday. It's so crazy. So we had gone like to do that thing, and I'm at the grocery stores and all this kind of stuff. I don't remember like specifically, but I can see still like driving by. And they lived out on this road that was like out in the middle of nowhere, literally. And their like backyard, they ended up building a huge pond out there that like swim in and stuff, and it's stocked with fish. And then after the pond, they had like, that's where like the barn was, huge barn. But then they have fields that went like right up to the interstate, and then it was the interstate. Well, if you were leaving their driveway, to the right of their house, if you went like a mile, on the corner sat my aunt's mother-in-law, who at the time would have been like 80, okay? I remember she had like a gas pump and everything for the tractors, so they would always fill up their cars at the gas pump at her house, like she had a barn and everything. They had a farm too. To the left, you didn't see any neighbors for probably 2 miles. Like, they were literally out there in the middle of nowhere. And they had a gravel driveway that went up, like, probably a half a mile to their house. So, we were coming home, and it was probably 10 or 11 o'clock at night. And we were driving by the house, and I think my aunt said, get down or something. And she drove by real slow and kind of just looked over, and she just kept on driving by the house. And there were all of these people in, like, motorcycles and stuff. Like, all these guys on motorcycles were in her driveway. She had no clue who they were. And I remember she got really scared. And so she, like, went up to the corner, and she, like, turned around, and she came back and drove by, like, slow, but not super slow. And I think that's when she said, get down. And I, like, got down. And I remember she had one of those cars that had my mom's mom had the same car that had the front seat, you know, that just went across, like, one whole seat. And my aunt always thought she looked like Tanya Tucker, and she loved country music, and she had one of those brushes, you know, those round curl brushes for, like, curlier hair. She had real short hair. She always wore, like, you know, boots and jeans and, like, t-shirts. She looked like a country singer. Anyway, and I loved her. She'd always sing me these songs, and she always used to sing me Crystal Gale's Don't It Turn Your Brown Eyes Blue, because of my blue eyes. But anyway, so we drove back, and they were all, like, just sitting out there in the driveway. There was, like, 20 of them or something. And my aunt was, like, really scared. And I know that we went to go stay at my grandma's house that night. My grandma, we, like, woke her up, and so we ended up staying there for the night. And nobody believed us, ever. To this day, people think we made it up about these motorcycle people that were in her driveway. And she was really scared about it. So that was one of the things that happened. The other thing was they had, like, a full bar basement. Like, their whole basement was redone and really nice and stuff. And we would go down there, and I would be the bartender, and I would wear this little apron, and I would be the bartender. And my aunt would be, like, the guy that came to the bar every night. And so she would sit at the bar and order these drinks, and I would make her, like, Pepsi after Pepsi after Pepsi. And then my cousin, who was, like, 10 years older than me, she would be the go-go dancer. And she would just sit there and be like... and we would play, like, disco music and stuff. It was so fun. Welcome to my childhood. But no, I had the greatest time, and I read books up there, and they had me help with the farm a lot. And when I was a little kid, I would go out there, you know, I would get on the tractor with my uncle, and which was really cool. I can remember thinking it was so cool that he had a radio, like, in the cab of the tractor, and it was, like, huge. It was these huge tractors, you know, and I just thought they were the coolest things ever. And it was fun. It was really a good time. I don't know how old I would have been when I stopped doing that, because actually that must have been a little bit earlier in August. Because well, maybe they would have been too old for it at that point. But my cousins used to come to the state fair, those two cousins, and they would show. I have to ask my aunt. I was just thinking about this the other day. Well, I don't want to get off on that topic because that's a whole other topic. But I'm like, last summer I had planned to go up and visit my aunt, but that just didn't happen because of the lockdown and stuff like that, and her being older. So, like, I've been planning to go up there. She's like 2 years older than my dad. I've been planning to go up there and see her with my cousin, because my cousin lives down here, and we've been meaning to, like, go up there and drive up there together. So, but they used to come and show steer and sheep at the state fair, and my mom would take me to go see them, and oh my god, I loved it. And I remember that my cousin, so I have two cousins from that, aunt and uncle, a boy cousin and a girl cousin. They're in their 60s now, probably, or late 50s, and so he would show steer and sheep. She did too, I think. And they would have an area that had, like, cots and a microwave and, like, a TV and stuff. And oh my god, I was so jealous. I wanted to stay there overnight. But anyway, my Aunt Jenny used to take me to the carousel, and I would go around the carousel. So then when it, like, slowed down, I go, one more time, Aunt Jenny. She still brings this up. She'll say, do you remember when you just wanted to go on the carousel? One more time, Aunt Jenny, one more time. I was like, one more time, Aunt Janny, one more time. So that was fun. And then, I don't know when I would have started, being a ball boy. I know that, like, the first time that I tried out to do it, I got to be a ball boy. You had to play, like, in this tennis championship, and then, like, the top 10 or 20 players got picked. Because I can remember it was like this big deal, and people would they'd be like, oh my god, look, he's a ball boy and stuff like that. And you got to walk around and wear, like, it stopped. You got to walk around and wear, like, a special uniform and stuff. You know, I actually still have that tennis racket and racket cover in the basement, and my racket cover is the one that they would give you that you had to wear. It's like white, and then it has, like, the green. I can't remember what the tennis organization is. It's like the National Tennis Organization. But anyway, it had that on there in green, and then on top of it, it said, like, the clay courts or RCA. It changed while I was a ball boy. I can see myself walking around downtown, or down. It was like the IUPUI campus, and I think, yeah, it was the tennis courts at the IUPUI campus, which is Indiana University, Purdue University, Indianapolis. Before then, it was actually at Indianapolis Racket Club, which is, like, right by our house, because they had clay courts there. I actually used to play on clay courts when I was younger, because where I played at the Carmel Racket Club, they had outdoor clay courts, and they had indoor, just regular concrete courts. I liked playing on clay courts. It's slower, but it was fun. I mean, you had to be trained specifically to play on clay courts. So anyway, but when my mommy, that was a slip, I didn't mean to say that. When my mom and her friend used to go, like, and my dad and his partner, the first couple of years that it was here, the clay courts, like, right in front, they would sit, like, in the front row, and, like, I have pictures in my basement of, like, my mom sitting there in, like, a sundress, and, like, Bjorn Borg is, like, and she's got sunglasses on, she's with her friend, and, like, Bjorn Borg is right there playing, like, literally, like, 3 feet away from my mom. I mean, I don't talk much about this anymore because it just is not that big of a deal because I don't follow any of it, but, like, I grew up in a big tennis family. Like, my dad played tennis, my mom played in a tennis league her entire life, and, my stepmom played competitively in high school. My stepmom was #1 in the state the year that she graduated. #1 singles and doubles. And she was a big deal tennis player. And she also has played in a league. Like, she stopped because she had a knee injury about 5 years ago. And she's trying to slowly get back into it. I think that was like, maybe longer than 7, 8 years ago, I think, was when she had her injury. And she does a lot of, like, water aerobics and stuff now. But anyway, she played competitive. She's, like, really good. She's, like, fantastic. And my aunt and uncle played tennis. Caroline didn't play tennis. But my aunt and uncle watched tennis a lot. My mom watched tennis constantly. I mean, both my parents watched Wimbledon, US Open, blah, blah, blah. My stepmom and my dad used to go to Wimbledon, US Open, French Open. They used to go to that stuff. My dad actually, like, the year that he and my mom, like, got separated or divorced or something, he made up this fake badge that was, like, laminated and everything that said that he was a photographer for Sports Illustrated or something like that. I actually have the pictures of him like this, and he had this, like, woven camera, because my dad loves to take pictures. My dad has, like, unbelievable cameras, and you talk about technological skills, like, my dad has great technological skills. So he had this, like, you know those camera, like, what do you call them, straps that you wear over your neck, like photographers, you know, professional photographers do. My dad had, like, this woven one that was, like, that thick, and he had it around his neck, and he wore, like, he was like, if I go in there and I just look like nobody's photographer, he wore, like, cut-off jean shorts and, like, boat shoes and, like, a t-shirt that said, like, you know, St. Thomas on it or something, and he wore this, like, Arcola, which is a city in Indiana, like, trucker hat, and, you know, my dad always wore aviator sunglasses. This right here, minus if I was, like, 60 pounds thinner, is exactly how my dad looked at my age. Exactly. And so he went in there and he just had the camera around his neck and he had this lanyard and he said, I'm press I'm a photographer from, Sports Illustrated. And they let him in. And you should see these pictures. My dad is, that would never happen today. You'd have to have press credentials and all kinds of stuff. But my dad was literally like on the ground at the US Open, like main, what do you call it? I just can't even believe that. I look back and I'm just like, it's crazy. Crazy. My dad and I were talking the other day, and I got off the phone with my dad, and I thought, my dad was the youngest of 5 kids. And, because I was telling him, he was asking me about this couple that they were really good friends with. They used to travel with them and stuff like that, but they haven't seen them in years, that were really good friends with my aunt and uncle as well. And so my dad said, if something happened to them, like Caroline would tell you, right? And I said, oh yeah, she would, because Caroline would know first before me or anybody else. And I said, but I think they're doing okay. I said, because their daughters would call Caroline, I'm sure. And I said, did you know that so-and-so had passed away? Because my cousin had told me that somebody that was a friend of our family's had passed away. And my dad was like, oh no, I didn't know that. I loved her. And my dad he said something like, I just feel like everybody that I've known, my dad's going to be 81, and it's really interesting because my dad is so active for 81. Like, he looks like he's like 65. Like, I hear about people's parents that are like in nursing homes in their 70s and stuff, and I don't know if it's just genes or what it is, or that my dad's pretty healthy. Like, but he's just, when I talked to him, I was like, what are you doing? He was like, well, I'm sitting here trying to watch the news and eat my dinner. He said the phone keeps on ringing, and I was like, what do you read? He was reading something, and I said, what are you reading? It was, my dad reads the most obscure topics in the entire world, and so he was trying to explain to me what he was reading. But anyway, so we were talking, and when I got off the phone, I just had this like weird thought about, like, my dad was the youngest of 5 kids, and my grandfather died at 74 from a massive heart attack. He was driving the car, and I was actually, that was in August. It was right before my dad's 40th birthday. Like 2 weeks before that. So yeah, I would have gone up to August. I would have gone up to Fort Wayne like the first or second week of August, because my uncle or my grandfather passed away like then. And my grandfather he used to always go in the morning, and he would like golf and go to breakfast. And I don't know if he had been golfing that morning, but he had gone to breakfast with a friend, and he was driving, and he just had a massive heart attack at 74. He was not healthy. He did not eat healthy. And he just, the car started going over, and his friend like slid over and took over and like got them to the side of the road. And he was gone right away. And I was in Fort Wayne when that happened, because I remember that my dad and my mom came up after that. So that was my dad's 40th birthday, and that was in August. And then my parents got separated in January. So my dad was 32 when I was born, so I would have been 8. Or was it 7? Would I have been 7? So I would have been 7 or 8. And I remember that whole funeral and everything. I never know, like, the years of when my parents got separated and divorced. My mom used to age it down and say I was like 5 or 6. My dad ages it up and says I was 9 or 10. I don't have any clue. I don't really remember. I could probably sit down and try to remember it. And actually, you know what? That kind of makes sense when I look at it and I remember that. But I think it would depend on, I can't remember how old my dad was when I was born. I think he was 32. So if he was 32 and then he was 40, I would have just turned 8 that summer, which means my parents were 8 when I got separated. But that feels old to me. I don't feel like I was that old. I feel like I was younger when my parents got separated. So maybe my dad wasn't that old when I was born. Maybe he was 30, which means I would have been 6. I'll have to look and figure it out. Anyway, My dad would have been 31 when I was born. So I would have been 7. Except that he would have turned 32 that year, so I would have been 8. I guess I was 8 when they got separated. I don't know, it just seems a lot like I was a lot younger. I don't know. But anyway, when I got off the phone with my dad the other day, I was thinking about, you know, my dad has his 2 next sisters. The sister that I used to go visit, my Aunt Janny, and then his other sister, Harriet. They're still alive, but my dad's oldest brother and oldest sister have passed away. And then my grandma's gone. My grandma passed away at 93. And then my grandfather passed away at 74. And I was like, you know, it's got to be so weird as you get older. Like, for me, it's weird that, like, my mom is gone, my, you know, aunt is gone, my uncle is gone. And I was thinking about all of these people in my life that have passed. You know, my friend Duke, who was, like, one of my dear friends when I was younger. My friend Jimmy that passed. Todd, my ex. You know, all of my relatives that I've known that have passed. It's like I've had quite a few people in my life that have passed away that were really fundamental parts of my life. You know, and I was thinking for my dad, like, as you get older, it's like, it's got to be so weird when so many people that you knew, you know, in your childhood or growing up, or people that made, you know, even your 20s, 30s, and 40s. I mean, 40 is really, like, I look back on, like, now that I'm turning 50, and I don't know that I'll feel this way at 60 going into 60, but I look back on my 40s going into 50 next year. I'm going to be 49 this year, not 50. I know people like to age me up, but I look at it and I think to myself, 40's really not that old. Like, I really wasn't that, I look back on my 40s and I really wasn't, it didn't feel that old to me, you know? I mean, yeah, a lot of stuff happened in my 40s. A lot of stuff happened in my 40s, you know? But, I wasn't that old in my 40s, you know, and I don't know if I'll feel that way in my 50s, and it doesn't feel that old. I don't know. But, you know, you start losing people. I think that's one of the major things that happened in my 40s was I really started losing people that are pivotal parts of my history or pivotal parts of my past, you know, that are big parts of who I am as a person, and they're not there anymore. It's like, you know, when I talk about stories on here, and I sometimes want to fact check because, you know, my memory is not as great as it used to be. And I remember just, you know, it's crazy because when I, like, go see Caroline or I hang out with my dad and my stepmom, you know, they're always like, how do you, like, even like my Aunt Susie will be like, how do you remember these things? Like, how do you know? And I'll just be like, I don't know, I do. But then what's interesting is I'm starting to not remember things as well as I used to. Like, and I'm not talking about big things. I'm talking about, like, when something happened or how something happened. I mean, I can remember, I was talking to somebody the other day and I said somebody's name and they said, how do you know that? And I said, well, I went to school with them for 12 years. I should know their name, you know? And they said, well, so did I, but I would never remember. It was a friend of mine that I grown up with, and they said, I'd never remember their name. And I was like, you didn't remember their name until I said it? They're like, no, how do you remember that? I don't remember people's names like that. Well, I do, but I'm not remembering it as well as I used to. Some of those things are like, I'm not remembering them as much, you know? Or it's taking me longer to remember. I'll be like, what was it? What was it? What was it? Like last night, y'all didn't see this part of the video, but I was talking about, I had read A Single Man by Chris Isherwood the first year that I did Booktubeathon, which is now Reading Rush, which I think they've decided not to do anymore. But I was sitting there and I was thinking about, I couldn't remember who directed it, and I knew it was a fashion designer, and I was like, who is the fashion designer that's very good looking, always wears a dark suit, he's married to somebody that's like 10 or 12 years older than him, like Alex and I, and I was like, it's not Marc Jacobs, although Marc Jacobs is married to somebody that's much younger than him, but I was like, I couldn't remember who it was, and it's Tom Ford, and I was like, oh my god, but see, it comes to me later, and sometimes after I've looked it up, but like in that moment, I don't really remember some things as well as I used to. But anyway, I was thinking about it with my dad. I was like, you know, it's got to be so hard. I mean, it's already hard on me when losing people that I'm like, I used to have this person in my life and now they're not in my life, and it's just weird, you know? It's just, it's strange, and it's so much loss, you know? I mean, Pee-Pee, for a whole, you know, he was in my life for what? 12 years? 10 years? 12 years? And I think what's really hard is that when you especially like have like private jokes or something with somebody, and then that person that you had the private jokes with is no longer here, you know? And it's like, especially when you remember the joke and you like want to call that person up and you're like, oh, they're not even here anymore, you know? That's weird. That's really weird. Or you want to call somebody up and just tell them anything. There was something that happened on vacation. I can't remember what it was. And I said to Alex, I go, because this doesn't happen to me very often anymore. I think like any kind of emotionality inside of me has long ago accepted that my mom is gone. And so this almost never happens. But I said to Alex, I go, this would be an example of when I would like want to pick up the phone and call my mom. And I can't remember what it was. It was something, and it's always the small, most minute thing in the world. It's something that's just like, it was no big deal. It was something like some kind of food I tried or some kind of soda that they had. What was it? I can't remember what it was. And I was like, it was something that I would want to call my mom and be like, oh, I think it was Mayor of Easttown, actually. I think it was something like Mayor of Easttown. And I was like, I would be like, because my mom would have loved Mayor of Easttown. You know, it's just weird even thinking like, my mom wasn't alive to binge watch shows, you know, like that's so crazy to me to think like, I mean, not really, because I guess my ex and I did, but my ex and I, we used to go to like Best Buy and we would buy like an entire series. That's how we started watching Lost. We went and got like the first season of Lost and we like binge watched the whole like DVD series. We did that with Lost. We used to do that with The Amazing Race. We would buy it at Best Buy. I can remember like trying to figure out like what series we wanted to binge watch, and we binge watched, what else? The Amazing Race, just like one season or two. I remember at the end of our relationship I bought like Heroes and we never binge watched it, and I still have it down in the basement. I always see it when I'm down there. I'm like, I don't know why I don't get rid of this thing. And then we binge watched, well, there were a lot of shows that we watched and then we would buy and binge watch later, like The Simple Life with Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie. Hilarious, absolutely fabulous. I have all of those. Anna Nicole Smith show. But what was the other show that we would binge watch? Oh, America's Next Top Model. We would buy those. We really like to binge watch the reality shows, which is so funny because those are not shows that I ever binge watch today. I never binge watch, well, I guess like RuPaul's Drag Race on WoW Presents, but typically I don't binge watch like America's Next Top Model or something like that. I don't do that. Olive Garden is popping tonight. People are in there getting their Olive Garden. They're getting their pasta. Pasta does kind of sound good. You know what? I brought my potatoes home today, and I think I forgot to take them off the table. I'm gonna be so mad if I look back here and my potatoes aren't back here. Oh, they are. Do you guys want to see you want to see what the Cafe Pâtisserie potatoes look like? I'll show you. Yum! Don't those look so good? Sprinkle some salt on there. Ready to go. I also brought my fan because I just remembered I have a cameo to do. And I don't know when it's due. I think it's due like here in like 20 minutes. So I should probably pull in somewhere so I can go do it. And the battery has been at the halfway mark forever. And I am almost at 20 minutes on this, which means I've been vlogging for almost 50 minutes total. Yeah, I'm gonna pull in here to the Dollar Tree so I can do this cameo. And then I might go get my other battery and vlog for a little bit more. Should I do that? That would be fun, wouldn't it? To vlog for a little bit longer. I haven't done a long vlog in a while. People seem to like the shorter vlogs these days, it seems like. Okay, where can I park? Here, we'll park over. I don't want to park next to somebody while I'm doing this and they're in their car. Oh, these people were sitting in their car. Oh well. All right, I'm gonna do it right here. So I will go home and get another battery, and I'll be back in just a little bit. Okay, I'm back. It is now 9:45 p.m. I made a drama video, a Peterisms video. I hung out with Alex a little bit. He showed me his table that he finished, which is really nice, in our entryway. And now I am vlogging. I charged my batteries. Can I just tell you what is so weird? Is that it is pitch black outside, and it's showing up as bright. Like, not bright, but it's showing up as light outside. Not just where the lights are either, but like right, you guys see there. But that, like, when I look out, it's like pitch black. And in the morning, I don't know why that is. When the sun hasn't even come out yet, it like shows it as light outside. Isn't that so weird? Anyway, who cares, right? Oh my gosh, what a good day I had. Do I have any more lip balm in here? I feel like I took it out. I don't want to use lip gloss. I just bought at Sephora this Laneige lip balm that's like gummy bear flavored. So I need to put that in my bag for later. I don't even have a whole lot more to like talk about or to vlog about, but I just didn't want to end it and not have done some kind of conclusion to the vlog. So I thought, well, I'll vlog a little bit more. I was just talking to Tanya, and 2 of her grandkids are in town, and she said they came back with her and her husband Eric, and she was like, I said, are you working all day tomorrow? And she's like, well, I'm thinking about maybe taking them to the pool. And I was like, it's thunderstorming right now in Indianapolis. It's like starting, stopping. And as soon as I got in my car, a thunderstorm warning came up in the car. I'm like, is it supposed to be nice tomorrow? She was like, I don't know, but if it is, I'm gonna go to the pool for a little bit. If it's nice tomorrow, I'm going to the pool tomorrow. So we'll see. I'm hungry. And I did not take my potatoes in. They're still, do you want to see them again? You do? You want to see my potatoes again? You want to see my potatoes? Here are my potatoes. Should I have one? No. I'm going to save them for later, because I want a special treat, and then I'll have my special treat right here. Potatoes. Do you ever do like real weird stuff? I shouldn't even, like, food-wise, I shouldn't even say this, because then people be like, that is so gross. But like, I have like some of those King's Hawaiian rolls at home. Like I have the, what do you call it? The hamburger buns. I have the buns. I like big buns, and I cannot lie. Anyway, like I can see myself getting hungry and putting mayonnaise, because I have that avocado mayonnaise on those King's rolls. Oh my God. And then putting a piece of Havarti cheese down with some potatoes and making a potato sandwich. Oh my God, why does that sound good to me? I know it sounds like the weirdest thing in the world, but it sounds kind of good to me. Do you ever do that? Like when it's late at night and there's like nothing in your refrigerator and you make weird stuff and it's like, okay. What's something else I've done before? Well, when I have like those sweet, I think they're called gherkins, but I used to always call them jerkins, those sweet pickles. I would like wake up in the middle of the night and I couldn't sleep and I was hungry. So I would get like, I would have, because we always have like chocolate in our house. I don't know why, since I'm the only one that eats it, but we would have chocolate. And so I would bring the chocolate out, and then I would take, this is so weird. I would take like one of the pickles and I would wrap it in a piece of Havarti cheese. Now that's not really that weird, but I would like eat it with like the pickle covered in cheese. But then after I was done with the pickle and cheese, I would eat a piece of chocolate. It was like I needed something kind of salty and sweet at the same time. Well, I guess that's not really salty, but you know what I mean. You get the idea. So good. I used to be so addicted, well, I still am addicted to the Morningstar chicken nuggets, but I really like the spicy sausage, vegetarian sausage patties. And so, like, sometimes if I woke up in the middle of the night, this is probably why I couldn't fall asleep. Sometimes if I eat, though, like if I wake up in the middle of the night and then I eat something, sometimes it helps me fall asleep. Sometimes it keeps me up forever, but when I would, this restaurant, they're turning it into something, and I have no idea what they're turning it into. It had fish and chicken something, but it used to be Long John Silver's. I don't know what it's going to be. But anyway, I would wake up in the middle of the night, and I would make like 6 of those breakfast spicy vegetarian sausages. And then I would just sit there and eat them with like mustard or something. Dip them in something, whatever we had, something strange. And oh my God, I loved those so much. But I don't think I have any of those at home right now. And this coffee is almost gone. I actually have my coffee from Patashu right here for brunch today. So today I had the gluten-free waffle. I did not get orange juice. I had coffee. My first cup was coconut cream, but this is just regular because by the time that we got our carry-out coffee, they've opened the coffee bar again. They only had regular coffee, and Alex got it for me, and he was like, do you want regular or decaf? And I was like, is that even a question? I mean, I sometimes drink decaf, very, very rarely, or I'll do like half and half decaf, half regular, but I was like, oh, I think I want, obviously, regular since it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So I had a gluten-free waffle, and then my potatoes, which we've talked a lot about, and then with ketchup, and then I had a little bowl of fruit on the side, and it had blueberries and strawberries and pineapple in it. And then Alex had a bowl of the tomato artichoke soup with croutons in it, and then he had his Cuban breakfast, which is like his favorite. And he had coffee as well, and then we had water, because they always put, you know, big thing of water in here. It's like this cool jar that they, or glass that they have, bottled, they just refill it. I don't know what the brand of that water is that they have, but it's like a machine, and they refill these bottles, and then it's really cool. So anyway, they have new bottles, so maybe they got a new machine, I don't know. But anyway, that's what we had for brunch. And then I came home and I did the video with Alex, the review video haul, and then Alex made that table and just was kind of hanging out. He made the bed look real nice and stuff, and yeah, that was our day. It was just like super relaxing. And then I think when I get done vlogging, I'm gonna listen to the rest of, well, I don't know if I'll finish the whole book tonight, but I'm gonna listen to the Dexter book because I want to, see, and now it stopped raining, and it's like it never even rained outside, although it's lightning in the distance. I really, really, really want to finish that Dexter book. There's no way I'm going to get the Mexican Gothic book done in 2 days. There's just no way that's going to happen. Because I would have to read it all day Monday, all day Tuesday. And it's 10 hours and 40 minutes, which if I read it at 2 times speed, that's 5 hours and 20 minutes, which means it's 2 hours and 40 minutes a day. I mean, I could do it, but I would have to be just like really dedicated to listening to it. Like, what was the last book that I read that I just drove around until I finished? I was like, I am finishing this book. Sometimes I get really into it. Back in the day, like when I first started listening to Audible, I would drive around for like literally hours and listen to Audible. And, but now, like I always start getting really tired, and then I'm like, you know what, I can just finish it tomorrow, or I can listen to more of it tomorrow. And I just wait, like I wait till it's like a really good point, and then I leave. These Dexter books in this series, I did not think that I would like them. I really didn't. Alex watched the whole TV series, he loved it. I think they're actually bringing it back for another season. I feel like I read that somewhere. Somebody said that they're making Malibu Rising into like a Hulu series or something. They also, did I already talk about this on here? And they also said that the Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, both of the books are by Taylor Jenkins Reid, that they were making that with somebody, and then she didn't like the way that it was going, so it's now they're making it with somebody else. Somebody said that on my BookTube video. So I don't know about that, but both of those books are fantastic. But anyway, Alex watched the whole Dexter series. Mel loves the Dexter books. So she had like asked me to read him for a long time. She's like, you'd really like him, you'd really like him. And honest to God, I really didn't think I would like him. I thought, well, sometimes Mel and I don't like the same books. Like, we both really like true crime. And there's been some crossovers of things we've liked, like Jackie Collins and V.C. Andrews and stuff. But there's a lot of books that I like that she doesn't like. Dare I say it? If she's watching the vlog, I'm going to say it. Endless Night. But anyway, the second time I read that book, it was horrible. So, by Richard Lehman. But the first time I watched that book, it terrified me. First time I read that book. Did I say watch that book? First time I read that book, it terrified me. I can literally remember reading it. My ex was out of town for something, and I like locked the doors and closed the bedroom window or bedroom door and had like a door up against it and a chair up against it. I was terrified reading that book. But the second time, it was so dumb. It was so bad and just like, and really graphically descriptive in a way that I didn't need it to be. Let's just put it that way. Anyway, so I didn't really know about like the Stephanie Plum books by Janet Ivanovich. Mel loves those, and I really liked the first one. And so when I started reading the Dexter books, I thought I didn't really know what to think, except for that I knew that he was a serial killer and blah blah blah. They're very much kind of like the Carolyn Kepnes books, the You books. They remind me of that, except for their detective books, and he's solving a crime in it, you know, or a murder. I love his sister, Deborah. She's like the best character in the books for me. But anyway, they're really, really good. They're better than I thought they would be. Like, I'm blown away by how good they are. Like, you just kind of like, I wouldn't say that they, like, you can't put them down, but they're close to that. Like, they're just really interesting. And it's a lot about his life and him trying to keep it hidden that he is, you know, keep it secret that he's a killer. And, but the thing that's interesting is, like, he's a serial killer, but he kills people that he thinks deserve it. And so, like, his dad that adopted him, who is Deborah's biological parent, it's her parents, and then it's his foster parents that I guess adopted him, taught him, like, he was a detective, like a homicide detective, and he saw this in Dexter when he was young, and so, like, he trained him to, like, only kill people that like deserve to be killed or whatever. So it's interesting, and it goes in there and describes a lot of it. And as you go on in the series, it kind of that part plays out in other ways. I don't want to say in case you want to read the series. The series is really good. And they don't necessarily pick up right where the last one left off, but they don't pick up like a year in the future. They're like pretty much right away, like a month or two down the road. I'm kind of surprised I just didn't read them back to back, but I didn't. See, now the gate at Ritchie Woods is closed, but often it's open at night. I don't know what makes the difference, but... So I'm going to try to finish a lot of that book tonight. I may finish the whole thing, but we'll see. Doubtful. Doubtful that I'll finish the whole thing, but we'll see. I'll probably listen to a half an hour of it and be like, I just don't want to do this tonight. I want to watch a TV show instead. Usually after I get all my videos filmed and stuff and they're up, I'm kind of tired. I'm like kind of, and I am, like I'm very relaxed right now, but I kind of also feel pretty energetic. Because usually around this time I'm like, okay, I could take a nap, and I don't feel like I could take a nap right now. The lightning is something fierce up there, though. Well, all right, you guys, listen. I thought I was going to go on for another hour or something, but that was when I thought I was going to do this earlier. So I think that I am going to finish this vlog now. So, I hope that you guys are having a magically amazing Monday. If nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Be kind to one another. Also, like I always say, practice random acts of kindness, but also, like I always say, don't tell anyone, just do it because it's the right thing to do. It's a nice thing to do to put that out there in the world. We all like to brag a little bit from time to time, but that's okay, you know? We're work in progress. And because we all need pats on the back from time to time, too. And Let's see what else. Most importantly, make sure that you reach out to somebody and let them know how much they mean to you. Let's see what else. Like it says in the 4 agreements, always lead with love. And let's put some compassion, kindness, tolerance, forgiveness, understanding, hope, faith, and courage. Love, did I say that already? Wonder and awe and magic out there into the world. But most importantly, love. And I love you guys so much. I love you. Thank you so much for watching. And did I say I love you like 50 times? I love you and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya! And for anybody that needs to hear it, one more I love you. I love you guys and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya!